Om Swastiastu. Aloha from beautiful Bali, Indonesia. Hello, I am Dr. Jinju founder of Soul Flow Alchemy, and thank you, mahalo nui loa, first of all, for joining our Soul Flow Ohana. In this video, I am excited to share with you a meditation. I did it in about 4 minutes, but you can do it in less than 5 anytime. This practice is designed to balance the brain and restore the nervous system, all while awakening and invoking that connection to the inner goddess, so that sacred feminine womb, heart, wisdom. And this practice that I call NaiAsana, which is a culmination of my collective studies and trainings in yoga, in the flow arts, in various dance modalities, neuroscience, and ontological, somatic life coaching, and beyond. It's the culmination in many of these different studies and trainings that have taught me how important it is to move our bodies in ways that balance our brain. We are very lateralized as a society, as a modern culture, especially as modern women, to lead and think a little bit more, lead our lives a bit more with the left brain than with the right brain in most of us. And so this is a time on the planet right now that is really calling for all of us to learn how to balance the two sides, to balance that masculine and the feminine. So this practice is really, in essence, about that. Keep in mind as well, in these times of where transformational learning is clearly something that many people are becoming interested in, because we now know through the knowledge of neuroplasticity that we can rewire ourselves, we can rewire our subconscious beliefs, and this is really, really important, and of the most powerful, one of the most effective ways to really get into the deep layers of the brain to rewire our conscious beliefs, our subconscious beliefs, is to bring both sides of the brain into synchronization so that we are in a whole brain functioning state, just like we were when we were little kids. Anyway, more about that in my upcoming book and upcoming seminars. So what I'm going to do is go through this. You'll see the meditation, you'll see the movements. I'll just demonstrate it, so you'll see that, and then I will take you through it and explain each part as I go. Okay, yay! All right, so now I'm going to guide you through each part so that you have a deeper understanding of why you are moving the way that you are, or I'm inviting you to move in that way. So we can break this down into 7 pieces. Okay, 7 pieces. The very first piece in every NaiAsana sequence is, and in every NaiAsana yoga journey is really an invocation. So what I'm doing is I'm just going around from the north to the west, to the south, to the east, and then back into center. And yes, I have my way of bowing in honor of that cardinal direction and the element that is represented in that direction. But for you, it can be really simple, right? It can be just a simple. You can even do it mentally. It's really up to you. However, the purpose of this, I think, is that NaiAsana is really designed to integrate and harmonize the different multi-dimensional aspects of ourselves based on an ancient Vedic system called the koshas, which I won't get into right now. And so each aspect of ourself actually is associated with an element. So there's these elemental layers of ourselves. So I am just going around in the cardinal directions. So in the north, there's air. In the west, there's earth. In the south is water. And in the east is fire. Sorry, I'm all backwards. And then in the middle, back to the fifth is the spirit elements, the element of the ethers. So that was piece number 1. Piece number 2 is warming up, preparing the physical body now, and just opening up the joints and stirring up the energy and the prana in circular spiral movements. So this is purposeful circular spiral movements here and here, and then in the hips. Okay, and then we go into the third part, which is, or the piece number 3, which is coming into goddess pose, Devi Asana. So it's kind of a wide stance, a bit of a warrior sumo stance. And once you feel centered and strong, you can draw the breath up. And now 3 cleansing breaths. You can go inside, you can go outside. It's really up to you. But the purpose of that is to just whatever it is, that if it's at the end of your day and you're just ready to shake off any of the energy or the thoughts or the emotions that may have been carried with you back to home from your workday. So just really just clearing all that energy out of the body. So that's piece number 3. So 1 is the elements, the invocations. Number 2 is warming up. Number 3 cleansing breaths. Now, number 4 is seeding our intention or our vision. And so this was where I brought my hands up to the sky and I made a mudra, just really opening up the hands here. This is Padme Mudra, right? It looks like a lotus flower. Put it above the hands, and here it's like a cup, and just opening up the crown chakra here, opening up my mind to the wisdom and the knowledge from above. So this is an invitation for that divine intelligence to impregnate us with our seed or our vision, and then we bring it to the third eye, to the heart, and now down to the womb. And this is a mudra for the womb right here that represents the yoni. And that's where I press against here. And now I do 3 breaths. You can do 5 breaths, you can do 1 breath. So see how you can modify this depending on how much time you have or how little time you have. But importantly, that touch shifts the awareness to the womb space. So feeling the energy of the womb, any sensations here, bringing gratitude into the space to say thank you to this divine intelligence and wisdom that knows how to create life. That's pretty freaking powerful right there. This is the creative portal of creation in all of us. So really just connecting in, grounding into that force. Then I bring my left hand, so that's my right hand. Leave my right hand on my womb. My left hand comes up to my heart. And so this is now, when I'm here, I'm actually feeling now the energetic connections between the heart and the womb, okay? The heart and the womb, and imagining a flame inside of the heart and this golden spiral energy that spirals up and back down, and up and back down. So that's what I'm tapping into here with my breath. Okay, so that was the 5th piece of the 7-piece spiral of movement. The other thing about that, the inner fire, this seed, this vision, whatever it is at the beginning of your practice, you can, just as we set intentions all the time at the beginning of yoga practices, or on a new moon or on a full moon, really holding that vision, and if nothing else, of just a vision of yourself, if you can just see yourself in your mind's eye, smiling, glowing, in just really radiating with joy. Or you can hold a vision of something even greater, like Mama Gaia, radiating all of this beautiful, healthy mana and energy and power and sustainability and all that, a healthy, happy world. Anyway, whatever the vision is, that's, you're going to see it and as the flame inside of your heart, and connect it and ground it into the power of that womb. So now that was the 5th one. So the 6th part of this is what I call a pranayama in NaiAsana that just organically evolved. I'm calling it yin-yang pranayama. So, and so again, your right hand on the womb, left hand on the heart. So this is where it gets a little tricky, and you might have to work on this in the beginning, because it's going to take this right, left side of the body and side of the brain in this contralateral patterning, which is really good. This is the juicy stuff that rewires us. And so the right hand is going to go down, the left hand is going to come up, and they're going to spiral around. You see the yin and the yang? Okay, and then I'm going to exhale as they come back, okay? And then inhale, and exhale. And I do that a round of 2 times. You can do it depending, again, just depends on how much time you have. So the other thing about this movement, this contralateral movement, this right-left, so it's not only balancing the brain, but it's also balancing the masculine and the feminine energies that are both required, that are both important for this, for our being, for every aspect of our being, especially when it comes to birthing our visions or even human children into the world. So that's the yin-yang pranayama. Okay, so now we come to the final piece of this movement meditation, which is the chant. So we seal that practice, we seal that journey, we seal that prayer, right? This is really a prayer in motion as well, with the sound, the Sanskrit sound of creation, which is the sound of ah. And it's also the beginning of Aum, but in this particular meditation, since we are awakening that sacred feminine, that power of creation, we powerfully close this with the chant of Aum. So that is pretty much it. Last thing. if you're just rolling out of bed or you're rolling into bed and you are not yet awake enough to do all of that standing up, you can do all of this sitting down. So this is kind of an abridged, not an abridged version, but just a version, another variation of it. If you want to be sitting, you can go through the directions, the warming up, the spiraling, and then dot, 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 and then just leave out all of this, right? And then you can just hold it right here. I will often late at night when I'm laying in bed, especially when it's been a really busy day, especially with our 3-year-old and everything that is going on in life, and I haven't had a chance to really be still, I'll lay in bed and I'll do this, just laying down in bed. And it's just the more I do it, the more effectively and powerfully and more quickly I get to drop into this part of my being and really ground into that center. And it's a very beautiful, calming sensation. And I wish you much ease and joy and grace and curiosity, and let it be an inquiry in many blessings in your journey wherever this takes you. Aloha, namaste.